Imagine conquering the known world by the age of 30. That's the legacy of Alexander the Great. Born to the royal couple, King Philip II of Macedon and Queen Olympias, in the ancient city of Pella in 356 BC, Alexander was destined for greatness from the get-go. Picture him, a young prince, his eyes filled with the fire of ambition, his mind teeming with dreams of glory. Alexander was not just born into power, he was molded by it, shaped by the relentless pursuit of greatness that consumed his family. From an early age, he was taught that he was not just a prince, but a future king, a future conqueror. But the story of Alexander is not just about a boy born to rule. It's about a man who dared to dream bigger than anyone before him. A man who, driven by his insatiable thirst for glory, turned those dreams into reality. It's about a warrior who, with each battle won, with each city conquered, wrote his name in the annals of history, not just as a king, but as a legend. When we talk about Alexander's extraordinary feats, we talk about an empire that stretched from Greece to Egypt, from Asia Minor to India. An empire created not just by a strategic genius, but by a man who believed in his destiny to rule the world. A man who, despite the weight of his ambition, never lost sight of his humanity. And yet, the life of Alexander is also a tale of personal sacrifices, a tale of a king who, in his quest for glory, was often at odds with himself. A tale of a man who, despite his extraordinary achievements, was forever haunted by the ghosts of his ambition. An ambitious prince, a fearless warrior, a strategic genius, Alexander was no ordinary man. He was Alexander the Great, a man whose story, whose legend, continues to captivate us, continues to inspire us, even today. His was a life lived on the grandest of scales, a life that continues to echo through the ages. And this, my friends, is just the beginning of our journey into the life and times of Alexander the Great. Raised to be a king, Alexander's upbringing was far from ordinary. From the moment he could walk, his world was a whirlwind of tutors and training, lessons in diplomacy and warfare, all under the watchful eye of his father, King Philip II of Macedon. Alexander's father was a formidable ruler in his own right, expanding the Macedonian Empire through a series of successful campaigns. But it was his foresight to provide his son with the best education possible that truly set the stage for Alexander's future achievements. He hired none other than Aristotle, the renowned philosopher, to tutor his son. Under Aristotle's tutelage, Alexander received an education that was second to none. He was introduced to philosophy, politics, the arts and sciences, along with rigorous physical training. It was a holistic education designed to shape a well-rounded leader. But Alexander was not just a product of his education. Even as a young boy, he displayed a thirst for knowledge and a level of determination that distinguished him from his peers. He was quick to learn, eager to question, and driven to excel. It was clear from early on that he was no ordinary prince. His relationship with his father was a complex one, a mix of admiration and rivalry. Philip was his first role model, his first commander, and his first adversary. From him, Alexander learned the art of warfare and the intricacies of leadership, but he also learned to challenge authority, to strive for more, to never settle for the status quo. The influence of his father and Aristotle, combined with his inherent drive, shaped Alexander into a leader of exceptional caliber. He was more than just a king in waiting. He was a force to be reckoned with, a young man with a vision, a plan, and the will to make it happen. He was a leader in the making, being groomed not just to inherit an empire, but to expand it, to take it to heights unseen. Groomed for greatness, Alexander was destined to surpass his father's achievements. His story is a testament to the power of ambition, the importance of education, and the indomitable spirit of a true leader. With his father's crown and army, Alexander embarked on an unprecedented military campaign. From the moment he sat on the throne, Alexander was a force to be reckoned with. His first target? The colossal Persian Empire. With a tactical mind, a courageous heart, and an insatiable hunger for conquest, Alexander led his troops into battle. His strategy was brilliant, his execution flawless. He didn't just defeat the Persians, he dismantled their empire piece by piece. But Alexander didn't stop there. No, his eyes were set on more. His next stop? Egypt. Not known for backing down from a challenge, he marched into Egypt like a whirlwind. The Egyptians, worn down by the Persians, welcomed him as a liberator. Alexander reciprocated by embracing their culture, even going as far as being crowned as pharaoh. It was a testament to his diplomatic prowess and his ability to win hearts as well as battles. Yet, Alexander's ambition was not quenched. He turned his gaze eastward, towards the unknown. And with the same fiery determination, he conquered those lands too. He was relentless, fearless. No mountain was too high, no river too wide, no army too strong. His leadership was unmatched, his spirit unbreakable. He was a brilliant strategist, using every resource at his disposal to outwit his enemies. He used geography as a weapon, terrain as a tool. He understood the power of fear and used it to his advantage. Yet he also knew the value of mercy and the importance of respect. He was a warrior, yes, but also a scholar, a diplomat, a leader. Alexander's conquests were not just about expanding his empire. They were about pushing the boundaries of what was possible, about challenging the status quo. He didn't just want to rule the world, he wanted to change it. And change it he did. From Macedonia to Egypt, from Persia to the Far East, Alexander left an indelible mark. His victories redefined the world map. His leadership reshaped the course of history. Leaving a trail of conquered lands, Alexander's name became synonymous with victory. And so, the legacy of Alexander the Great, the Conqueror, was etched in the annals of time. But who was Alexander the man, away from the battlefield? Now let's peel back the layers of history and step into the intimate realm of Alexander's personal life. Yes, he was a conqueror, a leader, a titan of his times, but he was also a man, one brimming with complexities and contradictions. Alexander was known for his passionate friendships, particularly with his childhood companion, Hephaestion. They were inseparable, their bond forged in the crucible of shared experiences, from boyhood games to the grueling trials of battle. Then there was his marriage to Roxana, a princess of Bactria. A union born out of love or political strategy? Scholars still debate, but there's no denying the deep affection he held for her, a testament to his capacity for love amidst the chaos of conquest. But it wasn't all camaraderie and romance. Alexander's character was a maelstrom of emotions. He was known to be generous and loyal, yes, but he could also be ruthless and impulsive. He was prone to bouts of rage, often lashing out at his closest allies. He was a man driven by ambition, often to the point of obsession. His relationships with his generals, too, were tinged with tension. They were his trusted lieutenants, his brothers in arms, but also the recipients of his wrath when things didn't go as planned. His friendship with Parmenion, for instance, was strained by his impatience and impulsiveness. Despite these flaws, or perhaps because of them, Alexander remains a captivating figure. His story isn't just about the battles won or the lands conquered. It's about the man behind the legend. A man who, despite his extraordinary achievements, was as human and as fallible as any of us. So let's remember Alexander not just as the great conqueror, but also as a man of deep passions, of fierce loyalties, of glaring flaws, and of profound humanity. Behind the legend, there was a man, as human and as fallible as any of us. But even the greatest of stories must come to an end. And so the sun set on the vibrant journey of Alexander the Great, a man who, in his brief flash of existence, left an indelible mark that would ripple through the ages. Our tale draws to a close in the bustling city of Babylon, where at the tender age of 32, Alexander's flame was abruptly extinguished. His death, shrouded in mystery and intrigue, remains one of history's greatest enigmas. Was it fever? Was it poison? Or was it the sheer weight of his ambition that finally brought the mighty conqueror to his knees? The world he'd shaped held its breath, waiting, wondering what would come next. For without Alexander, his vast empire was like a ship adrift in a storm. It was in this moment of chaos and uncertainty that the seeds of division were sown. Alexander's generals, his successors, found themselves at odds, each vying for a piece of the empire. The once unified realm fractured into fragments, a kaleidoscope of kingdoms stretching from Greece to Egypt, from Persia to India. The Macedonian dynasty, built on the blood and sweat of Alexander's relentless drive, crumbled, marking the end of an era. In his short life, Alexander achieved more than most could dream of in several lifetimes. His story is a testament to the power of ambition, the allure of glory, and the human capacity for greatness. His was a tale of triumph and tragedy, of dreams realized and hopes dashed, a tale that reminds us that even in the face of oblivion, a legacy can endure.